Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Well, greetings. Welcome to another edition of Reasoning Thursdays with yours truly, Lady D, Queen, Noni the Juice, Jai, Darespecta, Michelle. Yes. Well, welcome. Hope everyone is just fantabulously fabuloso and that you will full joy this program that we're putting on each and every Thursday. Um, good reasoning topics and so on. I want to say big shouts to all of our sponsors. One by One Kia, Awesome Renovation, Unique Total Kia, Hinkson Law Firm. Want to say a big shouts. Go out to our Botastic, and big shouts go out to our brotherly stations, You Choose Radio, and also to the Victorious 89.1 FM family and crew. We want to say big massive shouts go out to you as well. Want to say if you're joining us via any of the outlets, big shouts go out to you on our YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, on our website at www.dapowerhouseradio.com. If you listen via the telephone lines at 667-930-9036. If you're listening, however you're listening through the tuning apps, however you're listening, we just want to say welcome and blessings to you and thank you for most definitely joining us yet another week. All righty, because without you, there's definitely no us for Reasoning Thursdays. And we ask each and every one to please, correspond with us, definitely type in some comments, call in at 706-955-2001 to definitely reason with us. Big shouts go out to you, Myra. Myra says blessing to all, blessings upon blessings to you, Myra. So without further ado, let our panel says greetings to each and every one. Big shouts to you as well, Don Minot. Good evening, panel. Don says blessings to you. So before and to our TikTok massive and crew, we want to say big shouts to you. What's up? Stretch? Big up to you, Stretch. Definitely thanks for joining us for Reasoning Thursday. Stretch said, "What's good? What's good?" We just blessed over here. Stretch is joining us via the TikTok live. So blessings to you. And yeah, so for the panel, and then once the panel introduce themselves, then we're gonna go on and have our topics, our reasoning topics for the evening. Share the like, share the live, share the live. All righty. So Queen, you want to say well, we start from the top. Let's go with the only male on the panel. The respecter. The respecter, why you mute? Why you mute? Why mute yourself? Go ahead.
Don't blame me, it's you.
Let's go ahead, the respecter.
Honors to you, Lady D, and the panel and the world. Thanks for joining us.
All right, Jai.
Hello.
All right, Queen.
Welcome, welcome. Remember, share, call your family members, friends, and let them tune in. Tell them to tune in. It's going to be informative.
All right. Noni the juice. Noni, you mute too.
She's making some juice.
Noni making some juice.
I was distracted, but I am here. So
Yeah.
glad everybody is joining us tonight on all the platforms. Thank you so much for joining us to hear what's going on tonight on Reasoning Thursdays. And if you got any comments, want to chime in, please do so. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Queen Stretch say, yo, Queen, bless up. Blessings to you. You mute there, Queen. Unmute yourself, my sister. All right. You muted yourself. I can't unmute you. I can't unmute you, Queen. All right, there you go. Stretch says big ups to you.
Hey, Stretch.
Blessings to you, Fire
Welcome,
Mariah.
welcome.
Blessings to you, Denise Cruz. Denise,
Welcome.
big up yourself. Or Dennis Cruz, 34, big up yourself. Thanks for joining us. Share the live, share the live. We're on Reasoning Thursdays, each and every Thursdays, right here. Tap the screen to join into the room. All righty. So some of the topics that we're going to be reasoning on, and if you have a reasoning topic that you want us to touch, just let us know. We'll definitely reason on it. And or hit us up at DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. That's DA Powerhouse Radio at gmail.com. Big ups yourself once again, Dennis Cruz. Lodge up yourself. Um, Putting one on life support. We're gonna touch that a little bit over here. We're gonna just touch a snippet on Hakeem, the Democrat, the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries. We're gonna also touch, what's going on in the love language for Elon and number 47. We have on your agenda as well. Are they really going to start to check about the are they really going to start to check on the election? Yeah, we want to check out and see. Gems Jazz, big up yourself. Also in your line of reasoning, um uh, we're gonna have Jamaica in the mix up here on reasoning. We're gonna have Jamaica is what's going on with the people and the politicians and all of these things. Are they scared? PMP, what's going on? Jamaica Entertainment is in the news. Ibrahim Traore is in your news, and Cuba is in your news. We have a 12 country travel ban. And you know what? We're gonna definitely continue. Pitbull, big up yourself. We got slow money, big up yourself. We're gonna start to definitely hit up. We're gonna have to revert back to one of our topics the last week because we didn't complete it. Queen brought a topic to the table on is sex important in life, not just a relationship, but is sex and intercourse important in life, important for health, all of that. So we're going to be touching it. So we're going to just, Queen, you have some topics I think you said you wanted to hit on. What's those?
Well, basically, it's we can talk about what's going on with the education system,
Oh,
whereas a lot of this funding is being taken away. Not just that, but also 220. We mentioned it vaguely last week about the 226 budget and what it entails and how it's going to affect people. So we need to hit on that just a little bit. How will it affect the people of color as much as it will affect the white race? We just gonna discuss that and see what we come up with, and who really will get affected by that.
all right, all right, all right. Well, we just gonna dive right on into it. Jai, I didn't get your topic. Jai, did you have? Well, I think I had one and two on the list here from what you sent in. Did you have anything else that you wanted to reason on, Jai?
No, I'm okay. I'm
You're
going with the
okay.
flow.
What about you, Noni the Juice?
I didn't have anything only because I just went over the ones that you guys had sent and they seem really good. So
All right,
let's go with
we
those.
gonna go with those. Okay.
If I think of
There's
something in the middle, I'm gonna shout it on out there.
All right.
mm.
All right.
There's a
Sounds.
little echo, lady. Check it. You having a little feedback there.
I know where it's coming from. But if I tell them, they gonna say it ain't. Yeah, I know me. They're gonna bring some saggy talking on me and stuff like that. So, do you still have the echo right now?
No, I don't hear it.
All right, cause
No.
our shaggy brother, I had to mute. So you know how it goes. A shaggy brother gonna say honor me. All right, but anyway, let me go on. Let me go on. All right, so let's get this party on it. Let's get this crunk it. Okay, so where we starting on? Putting life support. We can start on. We can start on some Jamaica.
Yeah.
A little bit about Hakeem Jeffries. Um, well, let's get Hakeem out the way. How about that? Let's get Hakeem out the way. So Hakeem says Hakeem Jeffrey, he's a Democratic minority leader, and he's saying that this is not the Soviet Union. You know what I mean? He feels that the mask that these ICE agents are wearing, that they need to get rid of it. Nova Journey, big up yourself. Joe Curry, E-Man, Paul Brown, big up yourself. Yeah, he's saying that that the ICE agents need to reveal themselves. They're supposed to have IDs. They are kidnapping folks and people are going unaccounted for. So he's speaking up heavily on it and saying that yeah, he think that something ought to be done and he's going to be pushing for something to be done on that note. All right, big up yourself, Robin. Debbie, Dia, man, blessed child, big up yourself. Yeah, so he has a problem with what's going on, and I was finding the clip to touch a little bit of what he says and for you all to tell me your thoughts on that, on what he has to say. And do you really think, like, is it just the mouthpiece that's going on? Is it just him talking? Do you think that Hakeem Jeffries really gonna say nothing? I think that's one of Jai's topic that she sent in. Is that something that you think he's really going to change the ICE folks, the immigration people, stopping, you know, starting to show their face and stop hiding behind masks? Because he said it's a right. It's one of the rights that we have as citizens, as people in America, that yeah, no face should be hidden. What you think about that, panel?
Mm-hmm. Who want to go first? Okay, I'll go. Um, Jeffries is known for his activism. He always speaks out on injustice and things that affects people, not just people in his state, but people all over America. And I think what he's saying is true. I think they need to remove those masks, even though we know that these are like FBI agents. They're behind masks too. They're all over the place, and you don't know who they are because they're hiding behind those masks. But it's because of identification. I'm quite sure they don't want you to be able to identify them because if they want to go somewhere else and they know your face, then it's supposed to be an issue, and also maybe targeting, they might be targeted and what have you. So that's the reason why I think they're doing that. But he is right, they need to remove it so people can see their faces when they come in. If they're people of color, if they're white people trying to come in here and infiltrate my territory, then I think it needs to be revealed. But like I said, they might be doing it because of the same thing that the FBI do. They don't identify themselves. They're undercover, and that's what I think the ICE is doing. And in terms of kidnapping and what have you, I don't put nothing against them. 47 have plans, and his plans include sending certain people wherever to whatever destination he choose
Yeah.
and he thinks they're supposed to be in, and he's gonna do that, and there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to keep protesting, like we talk about. Get do When voting time come around, go vote for people that you know will be standing with you, even though sometimes they change after they're elected, but it's okay. Just do those things. That's all we can do. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna do what they're gonna do. The government, he's gonna do what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. I'm going to play the clip real quick as to what's going on here.
Minority leader is coming out swinging today, and he is vowing to unmask all the ICE agents. Press conference today, Jeffrey said the following: "This is not the Soviet Union. We are not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s, and every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified. That, in fact, is the law." Now, this is exactly.
All right. So he's saying it's the law
Mhm.
that ICE agents are to be identified.
As we see these ICE agents go into the streets wearing masks, kidnapping and abducting people and disappearing them from the streets of the United States of America. We're going to keep following what happens here, so make sure that you're following our account.
All righty. So definitely we're gonna continue to follow this topic as to
Mhm.
what exactly is Jeffrey's going to do, because yeah, a lot of persons are going missing. No one have IDs. No one don't know whom the are they even legitimate? Are they police officers? Who are they that are just scraping up people? And I feel that persons whom are being
Mhm.
targeted ought to make sure that they start to ask, what's your badge number? What's you know
And I
we
think this
start by
stems from that doctor. You remember that doctor a couple of weeks ago that was stopped and picked up. I think it stemmed from that because right now they don't even know what's going on with her.
yeah.
And not just her, but a lot of these people that were sent to Nicaragua, they were kidnapped too. Because some of them didn't even belong there. The case with that young man that his wife is fighting, for him to be returned to the US. So there is a lot of cases where these people are being sent to wherever, and 47 have a plan with Nicaragua where he gave them X amount of money. I think it was like $5 million for them so he can send these people there and they will house them. And these people are being treated badly.
In
They're being
Venezuela.
abused,
He
you
was in
know.
Venezuela, yeah.
And that's what I was going to reference when we were talking about it, or at least when I presented it. I think it's important. I don't think all of them are like cops. I think they're just government officials.
Mhm,
Um, and that's why sometimes if you see a video and people are reacting or responding to their presence, there's no real force behind it. And they're doing their job, but I also think it's a lot of accountability that needs to be attached to that. You don't get to hide behind your misconduct. And I
mhm,
think it's a lot going on behind the scenes that we're not even aware of, because we have to understand that it's not just men being taken and being moved to other places, it's children and women as well.
Yeah.
um and so I do think it's an accountability thing for me. It's not so much to know your name or know your face so we can bash you for doing your job. It's more so we're putting a face attached to an incident that may have occurred, because we don't know what's happening once they're loaded up in the van and being moved,
mhm,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And you could be doing horrible things to people, you know. I if When they had that border incident and they had the guy on the horse whipping the Haitians when they were trying to get off of the boat, um I want to say, what, a year or two ago when that incident
Yeah.
occurred.
Yeah.
So I
mhm,
feel like I feel like you don't get to hide behind a mask, especially if you have ignorance attached to what you have going on. And it goes back into sometimes people fall too deep in love with the power that they have in their hands. Um, and so I kind of agree with what he has going. It's holding you accountable and making sure if you're going to do your job, you do it right because we're watching, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don says it is alleged that vigilante crews are going around impersonating ICE in private vehicle. And
Yeah.
those are the reasons why it is very, very, very important that
We're able to
there are
identify them, even
we're
an
able to,
officer.
yeah,
If he messes up at a stop, he has to have a hearing. He has somebody he has to answer to as well. But if he's
Yeah.
wearing a mask and not giving his badge number, how are we supposed to get to that due process?
exactly,
Mhm. Mhm.
exactly. So it's up to
Well said, Joy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well said, Jai. It's up
Yeah.
to the citizens to also because they're already going to say illegal immigrants don't have any talk. But so it's up to the citizens of the United States of America to stand up because I know a lot of citizens know persons whom are illegal and whom are even legal and are being targeted. So it's something that I feel really, really we all are to speak up on. And I commend Hakeem Jeffries, and I'm hoping that um, he really don't lay the baton down. I'm hoping that he really go ahead and for this fight for this cause to get them to show their faces so that we can put a name with the face, an ID with the face, with a name. You know what I mean? To protect our family members or friends, whom may have came over here legally, but just came over here for a fair chance. We're talking about the ones whom looking for the fair chance in life over here. Big shouts go out to you, Dainty Thomas, Stacy, Leanna Gill. Big up yourself, Danja Kid. Man, I'm telling you, I want to say big ups to each and everyone over here on TikTok. Jason, Alex, Katu. I could call all the names. So just blessings upon blessings to you. Thanks for joining. Mary, UK, big up yourself. Just want to say big shouts to you also. Yeah, all of you, even on TikTok, if you're on any of our outlets, you choose Victorious, the website. Listen, our voices have to be heard, and we
Yeah.
have to stand up for those whom can't necessarily stand up for themselves right now because of their status. And as Don says, there are impersonators out there. So
Yeah.
things need to be aligned properly. Go ahead,
And
John.
my last comment was going to be, even though they came here illegally, they're on this soil, and that due process is very important. And I feel like it them holding accountability or wanting to do that to get people to hold accountability is essentially upholding the law. Just because you're here illegally, you're on this soil, you're allowed a due process. You're allowed to have a conversation with the judge. Like, that's the law. So it's just disheartening to see that people feel because you weren't here legally that you automatically, the law doesn't apply to you, and that's not the case. So it's just not fair all around.
Yeah.
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 So true, Jai. So true. A message was sent, but for some reason I can't seem to pull up the message from one of our listeners here on the TikTok platform. So I'll figure out how to get that message up and you know definitely say it. Super Barry, big up yourself. Yeah. So Jai, you want to touch that? The respecter, you want to touch it? You want me to unmute you? Let me unmute you so you could touch it, the respecter. Go ahead. Let me mute myself.
I do believe that those are just regular citizens. The Proud Boys and the Ku Klux Klan and your neighbors, those are not government officials. You see what they do? They plan ahead of time. They know what their agenda is. And they get these big, huge warehouses and landmine mines and stuff like that. They plan. Those people are not government officials. Those badges are not real. That's why they're covering their faces. But in due time, they will be exposed. And all the evil they're doing to others will come back on them. They're not going to get away with those things. Trust and believe.
Well, I agree with you. And that's why I think it's important they start putting a name to, or a face and a name to the body. Because then it'll weed out the impersonators, and the impersonators, I feel like, need to be prosecuted for impersonating, because you're not a government official, as you said. So who are you to kidnap someone?
Mhm.
That's against the law, right?
But then again, how can you prove this?
Absolutely.
That these people are not who they say they are? Because once that person, they pick that person up, then you have to be able to can track where they took that person and who is taking that person. And it's going to take a whole lot for that to come out and for that to happen. So in the meantime, what do we do? You know what I mean? We can always, I guess maybe we can call, I don't know, who can you call? Because the police, we know we can call the police department and ask if they sent this individual over, because you can see their name. But these people, you don't know who they are. You don't know how to contact them. You don't know how to contact their superiors. You don't know nothing about them. They just pick that person up and they're gone. They put them in the car and they're gone. I saw it on the TV with that woman, that doctor woman. They just picked her up. They grabbed one, held one hand, one held the other, and they put her in the van. I mean, how do you dispute what is happening with in that situation? Like Devin said, you know, um, they need to be in the open, so you can see, you can know, who to call, if your person is missing, you know who to call, who to look for
Well,
'em. I
that's
had a
like
niece
what
that.
Jai is saying. That's what that's
And
basically
then
what
I was
Jai
going to
is saying.
respond to that really quick. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No, go
anybody off.
ahead.
But
Mm,
we're, it's, technology is so advanced these days. Look how fast they found Luigi. There's
mm.
no way you can tell me they're not going to be able to identify who's who. Look how fast they found Luigi, and that was through CCTV.
Yeah.
But that's
Okay.
when they want to, sis. Remember, it's when they want to. If
Yeah,
they
but and this
don't
is why we need
want
the
to.
party who's been fighting the way they have for this thing to go through, where they have to identify themselves to uphold that end of the law. That's where that
Mm,
comes into play. Because now when you push that and they continue to push for people to hold accountability, things start coming to light. So, one step at a time.
But you know,
yeah, yeah.
uh, none of us,
Go ahead to respect it. Then I'm gonna read Don's comment that he made.
none of us wants violence, or none of us want to put down anyone or accuse anyone. But if we think about it, in this country, the NAACP,
Big up Honduras.
groups of Caucasian people, black people, so on and so forth. Why is it only one side who are doing these things, organizing these things, and knowing what they're doing? What happened to our leaders who's supposed to be our leaders? Where are they? Why are they not checking those things ahead of time to see if this group of people is actually working for the government, with the government?
They're initiating
That's
it.
why.
They're the
That's why
ones
it's important.
initiating it.
That's why what Akeem Jeffrey is doing is very important, and that's why
Yeah.
we definitely need the support from the citizens and the persons whom voice need to be heard. So yeah, it's a very very important thing that he's doing, and whom to
Yeah.
call. We need to hit up our Senate. We need to hit up our Congress. We need to hit up those individuals are whom we need to call. Those individuals are whom we need to put our foot on. All righty.
Mhm.
Don's statement says Seattle, two men arrested in Washington states with an arsenal that included dozens of guns, explosive, and body armor, along with Nazi paraphernalia, were former military members who attacked a soldier with a hammer while stealing gear from Joint Base Lewis McChord last weekend, investigators say. All right. So Don posted that. Myra said, well said. Okay. Blessings to you, Myra. Um, I'm trying to get where your comment Don is coming with the two men arrested in Washington. Yeah, they were former military guys. So are we saying that those are just individuals that may be wearing these masks? All of these ex-soldiers and all of these call
Yeah.
themselves citizens that are picking up individuals. Yeah, but once again, we just need to support what Hakeem Jeffries is doing in
Yeah.
unmasking the ICE agents, the immigration agents, and making sure that they're just not just picking up anyone. I was watching a clip earlier where there was an individual whom they thought it was one person. He kept identifying himself and saying he's not, and they, put him on the ground and was doing all of these stuff, and then they found out that it wasn't the person that they were looking for, and upon that, they still charged him for resisting arrest. So I mean, like, it's a crazy, crazy thing. So yeah, we just need to be diligent in what we're doing. People out there that are tuned in right here to Reasoning Thursday, you all just have to be careful out there. There was a clip that was sent to me. What are you doing out at 10 p.m. when you know the monsters are out? Which is kind of sort of true, but you have to have a nightlife. But you just have to be careful when you're heading out, especially at night. And as we say, don't open your door if you don't. Some of us need to go get some of those ring cameras and all of those ring stuff, and talk to them through these ring devices before we are opening our doors, because they can't kick down our doors unless they have a warrant. So yeah, it's we just got to be diligent in what we're doing with ourselves. Shazzy, big up your Dennis, big up yourself. Tom Veer, Honduras, man. I just want to say big up. Like. Share the live. Also on our YouTube and our Facebook. Like the live. Please like the live. Press the live. So we could go up in those algorithms and all these stuff. All right. So anybody and Noni, anyone else wanted to touch this topic? If not, we could go on. We could move on from there. Everyone pretty cool on that. All right, real quick. We just gonna touch this one real quick. I don't think we need to spend much time on him, but Elon is out there saying a lot of things about 47 on his X platform. The last one he said is that beautiful bill, and that it has been dropping gems. He's saying he even brought up that Mr. 47 is one of them that is in the Epstein files. So is what's going on? Is this a love and hate relationship? What exactly is going on? Or is it a hoax to try to distract us? Or is Mr. Elon throwing a hissy fit? Mr. E throwing a hissy fit because 47 is mostly embracing the gas part of it and not then and trying to put out the electric. I mean, like, what are y'all thoughts on that? As with what's going on, is it a hoax? Is it he's really seemed like he's fighting this big beautiful new bill that is out? What's your thoughts? Anybody want to touch that?
I think it's
All
funny
of
that
the
the
above.
I think it's really funny that they're fighting. I thought it was
Go ahead, Jai. Okay, your phone broke. You seem to be breaking up.
Mhm.
Queen, you want to touch that? And then
Yeah,
and then
I
Noni.
was saying it's all of the above, the friendship went sour. He 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 feels, I think he's jealous. He's jealous in a sense where he doesn't have the platform anymore, the forefront. He's not out there like he used to, because now 47 is taking on other agendas. So he's not in the forefront and he's not out there. And Eli Musk, he seemed like the type of guy that he loves attention. So when he's not getting attention, it seems like, you know, another thing is that I heard he the one that left. It wasn't Trump that dismissed him. He the one that decided to leave. And I'm contributing part of it to the Tesla situation. um I think he is feeling that 47 did not support him enough when the Tesla business was going down. Remember, he lost a lot of stock. He lost a lot of money
But
during that
the
period
man
of time.
47 put all his cars on the lawn. I mean, like, did he put all his cars out there on the lawn and did like a car show? I mean, like, come on. I'm loving watching this the tit for tat going on here, but I think it's just a hoax. He's already gotten what he wanted to get. And you know what I'm saying? The respect that you want to touch it.
I don't know what to say. It's a bag of mess. Bag of mess.
Else want to touch that one?
No, I don't want to touch it. It's just a playground between them two. I don't want to touch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't need so much time. They don't need to get so much time on our platform right there. He just I let them go. But you know what I do want to know? I want to know why he brought up the Epstein file and what he really knows about the Epstein, because he's saying 47 is all up in there. So I just want to know. Blessings to you, Michelle. That's cool. You know how we do it. Yeah. So, Michelle, you want to touch any of this with this, or you don't really want to touch that Elon and 47 business right there?
Now, I won't touch it as much. I'll just say that good night, everyone. I
Good
just
night, Michelle.
Good night.
I would just say that everything that they do is a distraction.
It's a
So
distraction. Yeah.
anything that they're doing, because if there's a love-hate relationship and he still invested all that money into him, he may not care for him much, but they're still somehow in cahoots. Some type of partnership is still there.
Yeah.
So, so it's just a distraction.
It's definitely that's the right word for it. It is a distraction. And we
That's
not
what I say. It's like
distracted.
a spoiled child pouting. It's
Yeah,
like a
we not
spoiled
being
child pouting.
distracted because he was just in his office the other day. Big up yourself, Shazzy Cruz. Big up yourself, Dennis. The large of yourself. Thank you for sticking out with us. Tanvir, want to say big shouts go out to you, being Carly. Shelly, 25. Big shouts go out to you. Man, I'm telling you, to all of our live on our TikTok and on our YouTube and on our Instagram and also on the YouTube's Radio Victorious and on our platforms of um, dapowerhouseradio.com and our telephone lines. Massive shouts go out to you. Share the live, please, and thank you. And also, press that like button for us. Press that like button for us. All right. Okay, there's a new message. I cannot seem to get the messages that is being sent over here. But I'm gonna figure out TikTok. We're new on TikTok and we're just trying to figure it out. And I see that there's messages coming through. But I'm unable to read whatever the messages are. So I'll figure it out and I'm gonna figure it out hopefully before the night is over. Yeah. Um Jai is back in here. Okay, so life support. And so we have life support on our list. We have on our reasoning topics. We have the election and the integrity of it. I think Michelle posts that. And we have beach control because we touching Jamaica over here. Job
Mhm.
Corps. Job Corps has been eliminated, and want to touch that a little bit. And also, having sex, is it a necessity? We definitely going to continue that conversation from last week. We have Jamaica entertainment, Cubans in our reasoning. So let's jump and let's knock out this life support thing real quick for me. There's a clip that's going around on social media of a lady that whose son was on life support. Yeah, the son has on his license that he wants to be an organ donor. You know, um, he wants to be an organ donor, and but his family did not want the life support to be removed as yet. They asked for it not to be removed, but because he has on his license that he wants to be an organ donor, they took him off of life support without the family's consent, and distributed his organs. This is the clip. I'd ask you not to take my son off life support. My son would have not wanted his organs removed. All of us, all parents, are here. We said no. I am asking. I need them to come in this. My son did not want that. I signed with him. It's not. He's not getting that. Yes, he was an organ donor on his driver's license. That's not the biggest problem. Doctors took him off life support without the family's permission to then take his organs. That's the problem. All right, now, I'm all for helping with life, and for whom wants to be a donor, to each his own, and because it does help life, persons, transplant individuals, patients, but I think there's a line that needs to be drawn somewhere when you have his parents, you don't know if they need time to make proper arrangements. You don't know what the situation is, but you're pulling these individuals off of life support because on their identification, their driver's license or ID is saying that they are they would like to be a donor. I wouldn't mind to be a donor, but I want you to exhaust everything that you can exhaust to save me before you just discredit me. you know um would anyone like to touch that topic in regards to? And I don't like the idea either when they have for persons to put that on their driver's license. But some
There's
people put it on their ID and then they even forget that it's there, and they may have changed their minds that that's not something that they want to participate in, and it's already there. So what are you know
it's still you see the thing is, lady, there's a thing called resuscitation. And he put on his thing about the organs being donated, but I don't see anywhere or hear anywhere where they said he has signed a form saying do not resuscitate me
resuscitate?
if
Yeah,
I anything of that nature. So that was wrong of the hospital to do that because he was unable to speak for himself. And sometimes when they want to do certain tests on you, they will ask a family member to sign the papers or what have you if you are incoherent or you're unable to do so while you're under whatever stress you're under.
yeah,
So that is something I can't understand why they would go ahead and do something like that when the family is gonna be, if he is unable to tell him what he wants, the family is in the next line to determine, what the outcome will be. So
yeah,
the hospital is wrong, and I'm quite sure and hope that they will sue them, for negligent, and going against the family wishes.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, big up yourself, Russ Lyon. And yeah, anyone else want to share their thoughts on that?
I agree with Queen. I was just going to mention that about the do not resuscitate that part. But
Mhm.
she said it
Mhm.
before I did, but I totally agree with that. And yes, they were wrong, completely wrong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And my thought on it is with with these things being placed on IDs, on your identification. That it's
Mhm.
on there and they immediately, because that's what the lady said. Well, he had it, the nurse that was there said, well, he had it on his identification, and his organs saved a lot of life. Thank you very much. That's all I got to say. And she walked off. I mean, it
Mhm.
was just so
Professional.
Unprofessional, yes.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
yes, and it's a hospital. Their job as healthcare providers, especially the doctors and the nurses, especially doctors, made an oath that they are to preserve life.
yeah,
So if he's an organ donor, okay. But at this point, even when he's on these life saving machines, he has a proxy to speak on his behalf.
Mhm.
So if
yeah,
something
Mhm.
needed to be done, or he's going to be taken off life support, or whatever the decision is, they're to contact and speak to whoever his healthcare proxy is to discuss the next situations.
yeah,
But to take him off life saving machine to what? To take out his organs? You're killing him on purpose. You're
yeah,
And that's
Mhm.
not your job. Your job is to be healthcare, and you're supposed to talk to the family
yeah,
and to just do things, and you make decisions on someone else's life who can't speak for themselves
Mhm.
just because he's an organ
Mhm.
donor. Yes, something is wrong with that, and there's definitely some type of malpractice in that, and they're going to have a suit on their hands because
yeah,
this is
But
ridiculous.
there's a lot of people who even have been in coma and they come out of coma. Who knows if he
That's
couldn't
true.
live? You never know. I
I was
mean,
gonna
that
say
was
that
wrong
too.
of them. I could see if that machine going beep 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 beep, and he's gone. Then
yeah,
that's different. But for him to be under and for them to take that measures against him, then that is wrong. That is wrong. Definitely wrong.
I'm gonna
And they
say that
should sue
too.
them. Sue them for everything they have, lady.
go ahead, Jai.
I
Big up
was gonna say
yourself,
what MC
Brother.
said. I was gonna say it's a fat lawsuit, but I don't know. I guess I always used to think certain things somebody whispered in your ear before, because in high school, when like you got your permit, somebody told me don't ever put that on your license. And that's
Mm,
me younger, and somebody saying, not to say you can't want to donate your organs, God forbid if something happens to you, but they said don't ever have it on your license. And I can't remember who told me that, but I just found it so interesting that this came about, and I heard that as a kid.
Yeah,
mm,
yeah,
mm,
yeah.
mm,
It's a sad thing. They're Donna says they're harvesting organs and totally disregarding patients' rights. That's
okay.
so true. That is so
Mm,
true right there, and it's a sad thing, and I just feel it for the family, because it's not like he did not have a family that was there advocating for him. And she never said that you couldn't have the organ. She said just don't take him off life support right now.
mm,
So giving them the time that they need
mhm,
to come to terms with, okay, everything that could have been tried was exhausted. You all, so obviously they didn't have that closure. They did not get that closure. So yeah, it's a sad
mm.
thing that has.
You know what, too,
Yeah.
lady? The article didn't mention if the organs was going bad, because sometime when you going through certain things start failing. Your kidney fail, your this fail, your that.
Well,
It start
you have
affecting your
to.
liver. It start affecting. So and they want a clean organ. So who
Well,
knows?
you have
But that
to.
still was wrong. It
Well,
still was
you
wrong.
have to be somewhat alive, not
Hmm.
remaining on life support, and time is of essence, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I just don't like the fact, and I know that I've said it to my children as well, as don't put those stuff on your driver's license. You have family
Mhm.
members, um you have oh my gosh, what you call it? Things that tells oh my goodness, I had it right on the tip of my tongue. I was about to say it.
Mhm.
Not just power of attorney, but things that could tell a person what and what you want done, just in case. Do not, like you said, do not resuscitate queen, and
Mhm.
so on.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think but I think your family should take precedent to
Yeah.
making the decision of taking you off of that life support. And if they says, okay, go on and take them off of that life support, then at that time, then you go on and do whatever you need to do. So yeah. Respected, were you saying something?
I can't say nothing because you keep muting me, man. And I'm hearing water, and I'm hearing lawnmower, and I'm hearing gunshot. And everything is silent around me. There's nothing going on. There's nothing on. Every time
Whew.
I'm hearing vibrators and all kinds of things going on. And I gotta be silent. Come on, man. Have some love.
Nobody told your mic to be so good.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Thank you. Thank
and
you.
lady, what do you know about vibrator?
Be quiet.
We
I
are
know.
not going
All right,
there.
all right, all right.
Myra says before you go in the respecter, because you had to go through your whining before you made your statement. Hold up. Myra says I am an organ donor. That's excellent, Myron. That's excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent
Mhm.
thing. And we are saying that it's an excellent thing. Is But I think the family should also have a say in not that you should not um do that, but when it's absolutely necessary to take you off of certain life support.
Mhm.
Go ahead, the respect Shaggy brother. Anami.
Listen. All joke aside, that family is not the only family who's going through that situation. Could be thousands and thousands. We're just not hearing it. And every time you go to do your license, that offer comes to you. I always say no. I know what plans are. They're not taking your donation and donating to somebody else. They're selling it. I, my doctors don't like me, no matter where I go. Because each time I go for a visit, they want to take 8 vials of blood. And I said, no. The first time I allowed it, when I realized, and I asked them, and they said, I said, why you need to take so much blood? If one drop of blood is picked up by the police for testing this who it belongs to, that can be that's been or they've been doing it forever. So why do you need 8 vials? And each time I go is I said, no, no more. Oh, we don't keep it. We just check for this and that and that. And we throw it away. Right. Liars. They're making a lot of money from our blood and those who are not here no more, organs. So it's not no donation from us to them. They're making the money and not the parents or the loved ones. They need to
You
change.
know, mm,
So I was gonna say, you do have kids, correct, the respecter?
For that know of.
Okay, so I just wanted to say, as I guess one of the younger ones on the panel, it is hard raising these parents, okay? Not everybody wants. Sometimes the vials, and this is just I thought it was, I thought the story you were telling, and I'm sorry, I hope you're not offended. I thought it was funny because sometimes the vials, they have special little things in there sometimes. So sometimes the 8 tubes of blood, everything has something different for something different to test, right? So not everybody is looking to, clone you.
Everyone.
But now if you have somebody come in, like after I had my daughter, somebody came in and was like, hey, can we take this to do research? I I'm not gonna lie, I'm sketchy about stuff like that, but I don't think you gotta be too sketchy about getting your blood drawn.
But the first time it's not a problem. And when you do ask and they explain to you that you know the red blood and the white cell and the white yeah, the white blood and the red cell red separated, and once they don't find anything or whatever, they throw it away. That's not true. Why would you throw away good blood? And blood is so expensive.
It's true. Well, my cousin's a scientist, honestly. Working on cures and all that cool stuff. And they do honestly, it has an expiration date, if you didn't know. And two, they really do throw it away. After it's done, it goes.
So what's
I
what
was gonna, I
you
was
know
gonna say that, the respect, I understand your concern and what you're saying, because I used to say the same thing, because every time I go, they take the same 3 or 4 vial of blood. They don't take 8 like yours, but they take uh, 2 to 3 vials from me. And I used to think the same. What are they doing? Are they harvesting it and until they get a certain amount? But then when you start researching, you see that blood clot after a while and it cannot stay for too long. But when you're talking about research, I can maybe see that. I went to Alabama yesterday, and while I was driving, I see so many research centers. I couldn't believe it. It's like every once you pass the border of um Georgia going into Alabama, that whole stretch going down. There are research centers, there are plants where they build things or what have you. But there were so many research centers. And I went down there a couple of months back, but I never noticed it. And for some reason, yesterday, I kept seeing them. That research center, Napa Research Center, this research center. And I'm saying, now look at this. I know there's 2 college in between there. You have Little Grange and there's another one in between there. And I'm wondering if these research center are attached to these colleges, or why are they up? And these are some big metal buildings, and it makes you wonder, what are they doing in there? What are they researching? So, to back you, I would say you never know. Maybe when the blood clot, they take it there and check it. I mean, they're doing a lot of studies. They always want you to come in and do studies, so you never know.
cross,
Yeah. So I just sorry.
huh?
I was just gonna say I had 3 comments to say, but okay. If you wanted to finish, if you want to respond back to Queen, you know.
Do you remember the Red Cross and the Salvation Army? And you're rushing to donate blood. So why wanna you're calling for blood no donation, and then you turn around and throw away the blood that you have tested that and it's good. It's not making sense.
Because each blood is tested for, you get a certain, it takes, sometimes it takes a certain amount of blood, the respector, to perform a certain test. you know I've been at doctors where they says, well, you have to have, where they've taken my blood and it wasn't enough to perform a test, and they had to come back and get some more blood. So sometimes it takes X amount of liters of blood to perform whatever test that they're going to perform. Now, when you say in regards to Red Cross and all of that needing blood, etc., you know, yeah, they're looking for certain types of blood, but if they need your blood to run whatever tests is that they need to do, then that's the cause. So maybe you need to get a little bit more detail with them. Big up yourself, and you and Shockwave. You need to maybe ask them, what is this file for? What is this file for? What is this file for? And hopefully they can break it down for
I
you.
know
Go
that.
ahead,
Yeah,
Michelle.
yeah,
Before
yeah.
Michelle goes, Donna says, I
Okay.
think they took my father's healthy liver and gave him a liver from an animal. And then she says that's how they framed OJ with his blood. They don't throw it away. Okay, Donna. Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, so I wanted to say, just to go back before I touch this part, I want to go back to with the family, where they, took his organs without permission, and what Joy had said regarding she heard not to put that she's an organ donor on her license. So yeah, regarding that situation, I also talked to family members and not putting organ donor on their license. But what you can do is you can have a will or last statement when you're gone to say what you want to do with your organs. So you can have something where you state that. So that's a comment to that where you can give away organs that way.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to cut you off, but that's exactly what they told me. So thank you for
Yeah.
saying.
And
So
you know what? It's not discouraging anyone from being an organ donor, because
yes,
I know lots of persons that I've know a couple of persons, even very close people to me, that have had kidney transplant, and God bless sorry that whatever happened to an individual, or some persons may donate one of their kidneys, etc. So being an organ transplant donor, it's a very good thing. But when it's used in the wrong way and is used where it traumatizes family members, then yeah, it's not a good thing.
You know,
yeah.
expensive
Well,
is when you need blood, when you're in the hospital and you need blood. Do you know how expensive that is? They
Yeah.
don't give you blood for free.
No, they don't give you blood for free, and they also have a lot of blood banks all over the place where they pay you to come in and to give them blood. So, yeah, it's not free. It's nothing pertaining to hospital that you go to is free. So I don't know how you expect to get blood free when even the simple sterile pad that they use, they're gonna charge you for. So
yeah,
everything is a charge from it's in a hospital. Yeah,
that's true. But I wanted to also piggyback on a response that Lady D had told the respecter, and that yes, when they take my blood, I also see for each vial they put a sticker on it. They put my name, but then they also put my date of birth, and they put a sticker. So each one, as they do that, like Lady D said, you can, as I was going to say, you can ask them, what's that vial for? What's that vial for? As they do it, because they have to put a sticker on each one. You know, so that's that. And then the last thing I wanted to say, as Joy had said, yeah, the blood does expire after a certain point. They cannot use it anymore. But there's only one person so far living, which was a black woman, Henrietta Lacks. She did have immortal cells, and they're still using it today for research. So I just want to say that part.
okay,
And yes,
and that's good. And let me piggyback off of this with what you're saying, Michelle, and also Jai, with the expiration. There is an expiration. Um, in Jamaica, and I'm just gonna go back to Jamaica. There was a guy that we knew of, and he was in the hospital, and Jamaica lacked. They had us to get the blood to transport it to somewhere else to get it tested. But by the time we got it and we transported it to where it needed to, they said the blood was no good for testing. So we had to drive back to the hospital, had them to take the blood and go back to the testing lab to have it tested. So yeah, there is an expiration, or I guess it's a clot
It's not,
factor, how soon the blood will clot.
it's
Um,
not depending on a certain temperature. If
yeah.
it's not a certain temperature, it's not gonna last.
Okay, yeah, well, maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but they gave it to us in whatever they gave it to us in. And by the time we transport it, they said that it's no good. Yeah, we ourselves discarded it because they wouldn't even keep it. That's how lax they were in Jamaica. Was like, we can't use that. That no good. You have to go back on the hospital, go get something else. I'm like looking at him like, this is crazy. How come the hospital don't have the proper testing facilities? I mean, Where's their lab? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and how lax of them. And I talked about it, I think, a couple of years ago. It's about 5 years ago. And I spoke on it on Reasoning Thursday that it's so sad that we have to go pick up the blood in Jamaica to at that particular hospital, St. Anne's Bay, let me call them out, and bring it to somewhere else to be tested. That was just is so unsanitary on top of it. But anyway, I don't want to distract from the topic. But yeah, anybody else want to comment on that, or we move on? Okay, so we can move on. Once again, let me take a quick station update. Big shouts go out to all of our sponsors. Big shouts go out to all, all of our listeners, however you are listening with us. I want to say big shouts go out to YouTube's radio. Also, big shouts to Victoria's 89.1. And, big shouts to you, the listeners, for continuing to interact with us. Annie B, JJ, I got a whole host here. Gucci Gober, Alberto Di Qualima. Man, I'm telling you, if I'm messing up y'all names, I'm sorry. All righty, Jose Val, big shouts, Father Reptile, Ross Lyon, just for each and every one that has it locked. Channy, I can't go all the way back to all the names that are there. So, but thank each and every one for joining us. If you're um, joining us via the Facebook and YouTube, Myra, Donna, Don Minot, big shouts go out to you, Jean, Blossom, each and every one that's listening to us on all of our platform. We just want to definitely thank you for keeping it locked. Yeah, let's go to we have having sex is a necessity. We're gonna touch that. The respecter wanted to touch Jamaica Entertainment. What was that on Jamaica Entertainment? The respecting Queen. I'm trying to figure. I don't see where I put your topic at, but let's touch real quick the Jamaica Entertainment, and then we touch your topic, Queen, and then we jump on over into this. The get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's make love tonight. Go ahead, the respecter.
Well, just about everything I've been on with Jamaica entertainment, it just seemed to me so petty and ignorant that the so-called clash and the envious spirits and the jealousy and all those things that's going on, and or everyone address situation with anger and disrespect. Grown man still telling grown men to go and ask their mother, and then them turn around and sing a song about mother, love mama, but then still doing these disgusting things and violent, the shot in the head and all the things that's going on. And I'm saying all these foundation icons, legends in the business, and not one of them can bring somebody together and say, look, it don't look right, it don't sound right. Stop it. Everybody just sit and let it go. They're going with the flow. The woman disgustingly at each other's neck over a man. And they got their man at home. So many women got their man at home, but they arguing on the street about over another man. These are entertainers I'm talking about, not just regular people. So it's this very disgusting to me to see that's going on, and these artists who have great abilities and I believe wise enough to do better, and they're not doing better. They're not thinking of the young people coming up. The young people who are coming up, looking at them, listening to them, following them, are not learning the right things. There's no mentorship going on. There's no decency, no dignity. Everybody's on the same page. As you can't form no more lyrics outside of under woman frock, under them skirt. It's very sad. And I know a lot of people not going to agree with me feeling this way. It's me. I got to be me. I have to turn my TV off every time and change channel and all that. And I shouldn't have to go through all that. And you show some love and concern and understanding when you see a little, when you see the news about a little girl being raped and murdered, and then you just for a moment, you go right back in the studio and you start doing the same ignorance. So they can't make their mind up. It's just something in us, not us, them, that they can't get out because they gotta set a certain kind of image because they want to be like this one and that one, and they are running down to be the king of this and the king of that, and none of that is important. If your community is suffering and none of that matters to you, you're looking at the next man, next woman, and criticizing them and not thinking, how am I looking to these youngsters, these kids who are in school? How am I making myself look? How's my mother feeling about me acting that way? It's very sad, Lady D in panel. It's very, very sad.
I totally agree. It's a sad thing. I just don't even understand why we even have to necessarily say cuss words in a song. I don't know why we can't just go on, say with lyrics, do what we doing, and just without all of the profanity, necessarily to have to edit these music and all of that. And it just makes it so distasteful. Why is it necessary to even say certain words? Sometimes the song wicked, the song is bad, and then boom, here they come with this profanity in it. It just mess up the whole song. It's like, why they have to put that in there? They didn't need to put that in there. It's not necessary. I mean, so yeah, I agree with you, the respect in regards to the contents that are in the lyrics. And you can't be preaching one thing and 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 saying another and doing another thing. And our artists, they need to be mindful of what they're doing and understand that yes, they do represent, they do not represent, they do influence, listeners, and children whom are listening to these songs. They definitely influence these individuals. So yeah, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Anyone else want to touch that topic,
I
that reason?
do.
I just
I,
okay.
I do for sure because I love music, all types of music, and I can appreciate music old school because it wasn't a lot of that. Even the rap music back then, Run DMC and different ones, they didn't have all those lyrics, and it was still good music to listen to dance to. And even now, my children love listening to my music. I mean, I got 14-year old, 19, and they love listening to my music. And they're always trying to steal my music. And they like it because it is wholesome. And I can listen to that music in my car. We can have a good time when we're going on road trips. And I was thinking too, it's amazing how on TikTok and YouTube, it's censored. You can't even use certain words. You unlive somebody. But yet the music, it's a anything goes. So it is really, really changed over the years, as far as the music, how it's put together, and it is society, and what people like listening to, and I wouldn't say it's a generational thing because again, there are just so many young people now. I don't care where I go that love the way music and bands were put together and the enjoyment of it. The lyrics are wholesome. I mean, it's distasteful now. And so I definitely agree. There needs to be something done, about what can be put out there. I don't know if it can be, but it would be nice.
Well, it's censored on radio. You know what I mean? It's censored
Yeah.
on a lot of different things. So, certain social media outlet. So it should be. It just should. It all of that profanity is not necessary. It's not. I don't even. I don't know what it does to a person. I mean, like Don says, dancehall artists are pulling in the big bucks when compared to roots reggae artists. He says that's because the public seems to gravitate to dancehall. And I don't see that there's necessarily something wrong with I don't see dancehall music. I see the profanity in the dancehall music because a lot of the dancehall music from back in the days, those dancehall music, um, those music didn't have profanity. You know what I mean? You could listen to a whole song and dancehall song, and there wasn't that type of profanity in that dancehall song. So it's what they're putting in now, and like anytime any artist or anyone send me music, I immediately say if the music has profanity and the music degrades women, do not send it to me. Or incite violence, do not send those music to me. Okay, so I mean radio on I can't even say radio personality because radio personality, a lot of them can't play certain music on the airwaves. So yeah, I just don't know what is in these artists minds if they just can't be creative without the whole bunch of negativity within it. Go
But
ahead.
it's just the same as I think it was someone said it where they're saying that it's about the money, and the thing is that when these guys they do the music without cursing or without profanity or certain things where they bash women, then they feel they don't make the money off of it. There's this song, all I know is I hear swish, 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 swish. And yesterday I'm driving because I went to this we had a birthday party at my center, and at my center there is this lady, right? She's the head of the cultural department. And when that song comes on, it's like she go crazy. And this a woman like maybe in her late 40s. Anyway, yesterday I was driving with my son and I asked him, I said, um, Connie, all I hear is swish, 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 swish. What are they saying in the song? He said, Ma, I don't know. And I said, now look at this. This is in your time. This is your kind of music, and you don't know what he's saying. So it seemed like most of the music now is just for the what you would say the hype.
The
It's
rhythm.
not about they used to sing about love or sing about um things that's happening in the country or what. It's not like that no more. It's just craziness. Anything where that beat, they play that beat, and anything that goes with the beat, that's what they say. That's what comes out of their mouth. So if they're popping like this and they're saying, my mother say, they're gonna say it. And that's what it is. That's all music is now. I don't
Right.
even listen to those kind of music.
Marilyn, big up
I'm just
yourself. I'm telling you, it's so crazy. It is
Who
so
made that song? Who made that song, Queen? Swish, swish,
I
swish. Who
don't
made it?
know. I don't. I'm gonna ask him because all I know is that it's popular now. But all you hear is swish, 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 and I'm saying, what the heck are they saying? But he didn't even know. He
man.
didn't even know. You know.
Robin is laughing. Robin giving laughing emoji. Let me say swish, 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 swish. Man, Frankie, pick up yourself. The user, pick up yourself, man. I'm telling you, each and every one that's joining us via TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and on our platform. Queen says, swoosh, swoosh, swoosh.
Swish,
Swoosh.
That's
swish,
all.
swish.
That's all I make out in that song.
Even back in the days, there was some songs that we just go, a lot of persons just also gravitate to the beat. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and
Mm-hmm.
because the
Yeah,
beat makes you pop,
exactly.
you're not really listening to the words. Too much of
Yeah.
the words you're not too listening to. Don says, when was the last time reggae had a major worldwide hit?
Okay.
Oh, a reggae
Okay,
worldwide.
Lady D, that's for you. That's for you, Lady D.
I don't, I don't, I don't, I don't know.
Well, remember the song with Spice and Sean Paul and Shaggy?
No, that's not considered necessarily to be reggae. Reggae
Okay,
they would even say, okay, reggae is something if you want to bring it forth, you would say like Chronix May says
okay,
um he has some, but like Don Minot, reggae
okay.
songs are awesome
Mm-hmm.
reggae songs.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Um
Yeah. Yeah.
they says, Pyramid Kabaka songs supposed to be reggae, like those songs, but
Okay,
there still haven't been like a worldwide hit,
okay. Yeah.
where everyone were like a Bob, like a Peter Tosh, like a Third World, whom names are recognized all over
Mm-hmm.
the world. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of reggae now is that's what I said, Donna. Donna said chronics. That's what I did say, Donna, like chronics. Um ex-
Infused. A lot of the reggae are infused. They're
that's
infused.
exactly, lady.
Then,
Myra says, take the words away, and you got so sweet music. Yeah, take the words away. But yeah, like the reggae, it's mostly gravitated in Europe. A lot of European, they're loving the reggae, and I don't know if that's something too that may be on the American side of it, where they're just looking at it maybe as a Rastafari oppression type of music, and maybe they don't view themselves as being oppressed, so they're not gravitating to those music. They're more trying to be happy. Persons don't want the struggle music anymore, unless it has that certain type of beat like a chronic song. You know,
mm.
um that's what I would say. I'm the respecter, you being an artist. What do you say?
What Don Miner is saying is accurate, but honestly speaking, if people are honest, very common. Just about two-thirds of his music can be considered universal.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. What about
Barry
Travis
Allen,
Riley?
Mikey Spice, Taurus Riley, Busy Signal. There's many artists out there. Luciana, Bushman, Capitan. I'm seeing in Italy and France and all those places where Germany, where those artists are big, Switzerland, the whole world.
But once again,
Uh,
Don says a major worldwide hit. He's not even talking about necessarily the artists themselves, but a hit
but
song.
the,
Don says one more thing. Don says the sale numbers are weak. Go ahead, there, Spectre.
no, it's chronic. You gotta get chronic music, coffee, just the same. We're not in every country to know.
Coffee's not
We're,
reggae. Go
we're
ahead.
not we're not in every country to see the sales and what's going on. So we really can't say that on a wide scale. We can't say that.
But they have the platforms. They have the like they would have the top 10 what you call, or
That's not,
they have these platforms that tells you which music is being popular or which music is selling the most.
And in the top 100, universally, every single year, Bob Marley still have at least three. And he's not here.
Okay, greetings, Don. Greetings.
Yes, greetings, greetings, panel.
Greetings,
Victor,
Don.
what I want you all to consider this. When I talk about a major worldwide hit, when you compare the numbers from reggae artists to an artist like um, Jay Z's wife, what's her name, Beyonce,
Beyonce.
the other white lady, what's her name, that little slim girl that she's just racking up numbers. What
You mean Taylor Swift?
artist?
Taylor
Who?
Swift. Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Look
Yeah.
at those numbers. Those numbers are in the millions when they put out a record. When you have a hit reggae song, it came with more than 5,000 units worldwide. Worldwide, 5,000 units worldwide, and that is considered a hit for reggae. Reggae don't move millions like pop music does. It doesn't.
Yeah.
The sales is not there.
Yeah. Donna says, and that's because they're not listening to your music, Don, because you have great music that would be a worldwide hit.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
so
But
sweet.
yeah, I understand that. But the reason why people like myself and the respecter won't get to that level because it takes money and it takes a lot of money to get
That
there.
too.
You understand?
That too.
You
And
know?
and that's why Bob Marley music, that's why Bob Marley, even music he has made years ago, is coming out now because they can afford to put those music out and push behind those music. They have the push, rather, I should say, behind those music because there's a lot of people that's supporting the Bob Marley family. So even if his son put out a music, it might be a hit because of his association with Bob Marley. Everybody knows Bob
Correct.
Marley. That's why he's been so popular in terms of his music.
So, and I would like to add, give it time because look how Buju Banton, how he sold out the UBS Arena in here, New York. Look how Vibes Cartel. Even though they're dance hall, but I'm just saying. Look how Vibes Cartel sold out. Barclays Center. Now we have Bounty Killer coming. He sold out. I don't know if he sold out, but he's also performing in a big arena. I don't know if it's Barclays or UBS Arena. Was it Barris Hammond? He sold out an arena in New Jersey. So it's coming, and I feel like because they weren't doing that before. Before these regular artists were doing it as a group in one hall, and now they're selling out, at least in New York, a whole huge thousands and thousands of seats. So I feel like it took time to build it, and now it's coming along. Give it some time.
Lady,
What's happening?
what's the silence for?
Yeah, I was wondering the same.
Okay. Sometimes
Hey,
the feed goes out, so we can
uh,
continue talking. Let's continue
Yeah,
talking
what,
about it. Yeah.
yeah.
what Don is saying is,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's a comparison. The comparison is the way it is for a reason. Taylor Swift and Beyonce, they're not singing with violence and ignorance and everything about cocky and them things there. So it's a difference. The message is not the same. The message is not the same. From Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and Vernon Spear and Bunny Whalers and all those icons, Dennis Brown, Gregory, John Holt, it's not the same. I mean,
But then you also
Shaggy,
got to look at it. You also got to look at it where Beyonce music is viewed. by most nationalities, no matter where you're from. But reggae music, yes, we say it's international, but like we said, it's international in terms of Bob Marley. That's who they and Peter Touch, that's who they identify, reggae music with. So any other artists coming up, they have to be able can even do better than Bob Marley, better than Peter Tosh, in order for them to be recognized and noticed.
Bob Marley died in 1981, and he's still the number one selling reggae artist.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yeah,
Noni,
that's
Noni,
it.
Noni
Still the
was
number
saying
one selling reggae
something.
artist.
Go ahead, Noni, you were saying something. Go ahead.
Yeah. So is that the point you making, Don? Like that's how long ago it's been? Because I know when I went to the Bob Marley
There's never been
concert,
another artist
that it was
in
all
the caliber of Marley
nationalities
since
there.
Marley left.
What did you say?
I said there's never been another artist to fill the shoes of Marley since he left in 1981. That level, to that worldwide level, and the sales. No other artists have gotten there yet
And
since
let me and
1981.
let me say this, Don. Piggybacking off of what Donna kind of saying. It's not that there's no artists that make music that is even that's better than Bob. It's the people. It's the people
Yeah, what they
that
Yes,
is
gravitate to.
not gravitating because
Yeah.
there are artists such as yourself and such as many. They have an artist here in even Atlanta, Joseph Court. I love his music. They have a
yes,
lot. They have lots of artists that has great music, but it's the people.
Yeah,
All they're not into, as I stated even earlier, they're not into the message. They're
mm-hmm,
not ready. They don't want to. They feel like those type of music is sad music. It's
mm-hmm.
music to make them think, and they don't want to think. They want to have
and,
fun.
and like Donna said in the chat room, the labels don't want to promote that type of music, put their money
Yeah.
behind that type of music either.
No.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. That's it. It's all about money, what they're gonna
Cause
make.
Yeah.
You
right,
know, Mm.
Yeah.
it won't sell
It
It
won't.
won't
as
sell.
much.
So it's not the music, and it's not even the artist. It's the people, and it is the labels who push the music.
Yeah,
Yes,
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's what can we do? What can be done to open? Really, even like they would say, Bob wasn't even popular in Jamaica. He had to come abroad before he even became popular.
right.
So what whom propelled Bob to his greatness? Who was behind Bob to bring him to that greatness that he's on? I don't know why the system keep going out. Who propelled Bob to get to the greatness that to expose his music, not to get to the great, to expose his music. Those are whom we need to we those are who we need to bring back, or those are whom a lot of producers and stuff like that need to emulate and with the reggae music now. Donna says that's why they got rid of Bob, because of the message in his music. That's it.
And
They don't
Lady
want
D,
no more.
that makes a lot of sense what you're saying to emulate. Because if you think about it, even the American artists, what do they say? There's the next Aretha Franklin in another artist. There's the next Whitney Houston. So that's what normally happens.
Yeah,
So you're right. There should be other artists if they really believed in the message of Bob Marley and what his music meant, not only for, you know, people of all
you
nationalities, but it definitely for the culture of, Jamaica, period, and that culture,
yeah,
you see
upholding
what
that.
we fail. You see what we fail to understand. Again, it's the system. Again,
Yeah.
it's the system, and whatever goes on, it's always based on the system and what the system wants to promote, what the system wants to put out there. Those kind of music, they don't want to put those kind of music out there because it have people thinking. It makes you think. Okay? Right now, I'm saying folks out there moving like they're zombies. I mean, it's like they're not focused. They're just moving, moving, moving. So of course they're not gonna want to hear, like Lady said, those cultural songs and what have you,
because it
because
brings
it
us
brings them back
together.
to reality, and they don't want to be in reality. They
And
want to be out there spaced out.
the people want to be
It
don't
only
want the
takes one.
but the companies don't want the unity. Those
Uh-huh. Of
are
the people.
is unity songs that
Yeah.
brings us together. And they
Yeah.
don't know, the forces that be, they don't want black people together. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
therefore there's none that is going to push or to give that outlet like they did to Bob, because they've already saw what Bob music did.
Right.
But
They
lady,
uh,
but remember, we must all remember that Bob had Chris Blackwell, who was a multi-millionaire behind him, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bob
Yeah.
had Chris
Yeah.
Blackwell.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
how
Yeah.
Bob came to the forefront with
Yeah.
Chris Blackwell behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
there's no more
So,
there's there's not another Chris Blackwell.
Cause
exactly.
it's another time. Now they want those derogative music and what have you, and that's what they're funding. That's where they're putting their money.
Money
These
into
producers are putting their money in those music
sex.
that they're gonna generate
Yeah.
a profit off of.
Sex sells. It's all about sex. It's all about drugs. It's all about shooting. Those are what they're putting into the black community, and
Mm-hmm.
we are falling for it, and we are buying it, and we are promoting it, and we're dancing with it. And even if we don't know what the heck it's saying, like swoosh swoosh swoosh, it is it is being sold. It is being sold.
It's true because
And,
they
and
love.
and
I
Lady
tell you.
D, Lady D, and that's just
Yeah.
like everything else. If you think about it,
Mm-hmm.
even in countries even like Jamaica,
Mhm.
made where? It made in China, made these other places, when all the gifts, talents, and everything is right
Mm-hmm.
there, rich in culture, just like what's happening in Africa with Abraham, what he's doing
Mm-hmm.
over there. It's like he knew it was here all the time, but somebody, it only takes one. But then after that one takes a stand, where's the support for that one? That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Ibrahim Torre, he's taking a
Yeah,
stand. They need to
right.
support. Donna says
And they rallied behind him right quick.
they rally behind him. His Imperial Majesty Jarastafari. And then she said that's how they keep you plugged into the matrix. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Mm-hmm.
distracting us with the booty shaking, the big butts, the big breasts, the shot fire shot and all of these stuff. Yeah. And that's exactly what is in our atmosphere for even
Yeah.
Our, our,
children.
our, our young people don't want to be reminded of the struggle, of the
Yeah.
black struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want
All
to
right.
be reminded of it. They
Mhm.
don't want to hear it.
No, not at
Mm-hmm.
all. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it.
Uh,
Yeah.
I just want to interject.
Yeah.
As far as the music with the guns and the shooting, all of that, yes, as you said, it's promoted a lot and is accepted widely. But at the same time, we don't want to attack it too much because why? Some of them sing it because this is what I experienced. This is what they've experienced. So it's like a therapy. I'm not saying they should only sing that. They should sing other things that can be conscious, but not all. Some of it, is what they experience. So some of it
Mm-hmm.
they haven't experienced and they're just singing it because that's what everybody want to hear and they're pretending. But there's also some who sing it because it's what they experience. So when they sing it, it's like a therapy to say, "This is what I've been through, but look at me now." So I just wanna.
And listen, Nappy Roots, because that sings about it, but it's a positive. When Nappy Roots made
That's it.
Good Day. You know what I'm saying? So you can still turn it around. Yeah, this was,
We'll
Yeah.
still
part of
turn it
where I
around.
grew up. But let's put the guns away. Mama's looking fly. Let's. hey,
Yeah,
you could always make music positive, even though that was your upbringing. A war
yeah,
zone everywhere you
yeah.
You can
look.
always change. That's why I was saying where why do we have to put so much negativity into the music?
Okay, like
Because it
they
sells, lady, because negativity sells.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Just piggybacking on what Noni had said, like Baby Sean, when he sang about his upbringing and what he went through, and he did a lot of collaboration with Alicia Keys, and so he talked about what he went through, but he also made it more positive. So that's what you mean.
yeah.
Mhm.
The respecter, you want to
Yes,
chime in, and
very
then
good.
maybe we move. Uh-huh.
I don't think he heard you, lady. Look, he on mute again.
No, he's not. He's off mute.
I was on mute, and each time I'm pushing it, it won't move. So I left it alone. So I lost my train of thought. So move on.
It'll come back.
He'll come back.
Not bad.
Like a
I
stepson.
like that one. He'll come back.
Respecter, maybe you need to try a headphone or something with your
No, man, I you, man.
no, it's not.
I know me.
Okay, I'm just gonna clear the air. Ladies, because
Yeah.
the listeners aren't gonna hear me. Ladies, when I mute the respecter, do you all still hear this echo?
No.
Right now, you're hearing it because he is
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
unmuted. Let me mute him. Do you all still hear the echo?
No, I
No.
don't hear it.
Okay.
No.
No.
So I don't know what he wants me to say
No,
and
no,
why
no.
you think I'm
But hold on. Let's say about it. Try somebody else and still don't hear the same thing. No matter where you go to, you're gonna hear it.
we all were on mute just now, the respecter
No,
and
no, mute someone else and then ask the
okay, you
question.
know what? We're not gonna waste the last 10 minutes on this. All right, because this is a every week thing. Find a good location, get a headphone, do
There's
something
nothing wrong with my location.
um and we go on. So let's move on with I don't think we have enough time either for the Jamaica and the politics because
No, we
there
don't.
was there was
Uh,
a rally. There was a rally with the PMPs the other day, and they made
mhm.
themselves look so silly. Donna says, "Me and the Respect is gonna make a song." Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Donna,
Oh,
you sure you want to go there?
yeah. So and we wanted to reason a little bit on that as to the Jamaican people. And well, I guess we could touch just a snippet of it, but no, let's go to we only still have what 9 minutes for the having sex is a necessity. So I think we need to even start with that one next week because it is a necessity, and also the Jamaican politics is something that we really need to reason on as
Touch
well.
on, yeah.
Because
Mm.
I saw something with the Jamaica. Oh, Donna said it's gonna be a worldwide hit. Okay, all right, we'll watch and see.
I'm
Um,
waiting.
the PMPs they put out a call on the and then I'm gonna go to the let's go to the having sex and let's leave the PMP thing. Let's leave the politics out of it. What you all think? Panel, what you all thoughts on that?
On what?
Leave let's jump from Jamaica and go into um being intimate is a necessity in life and not just to be intimate, but it's a necessity
Okay,
in life.
Queen, you gonna start it off?
Oh,
You gonna
Sookie,
start it off,
Sookie.
Queen?
All right, okay, let's go. Last time we discussed it, we talked about, the different types, right, of sexual intercourse. We talked about the clapping one and that tap, 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 tap one. That's the one when the person is letting out frustration. For example, he might have a bad day and he came home and he just want to get that release. You have that one. Then
Yep.
you have the type of sex where it is um caring. It is loving. You put your all in it. You do foreplay. You do all of that nice stuff, right? And it's good. And those are the type of activities that we should be doing. Activities where we are enjoying each other. We are exploring each other. And then a little one might come along. That's okay. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the thing is that most men, the study finds that most men, when they have sexual intercourse, they are rushing. They're rushing because they want that quick gratification. They want that quick release. They're not thinking
Right.
about the other partner. They're not thinking about how that person is feeling. They just want that release. Um, and what they're saying is that health wise, the more pleasurable one, the ones where you're touching, you're foreplaying, you're caressing, you're showing that inner love, because they're saying this is something that is inner, it's a spiritual thing. It's not just a thing, it's supposed to be spiritual. It's two persons coming together to share,
Hey, Manny.
you know what, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
they're saying why do men seek for that quick gratification? Is it because they're angry, or is it because they just want to let out whatever is going on inside?
Well, having sex is very beneficial for health. I was going through some stuff, and it lowers your blood pressure,
Hmm.
burning calories, increase heart health, strengthening muscle, reducing your risk of heart disease, stroke, hypertension, increasing libido, relieving pain, reducing stress. It supports your immune system, boosting
Yeah.
certain aspects of people well-being and physical health, and it also improves your mental health. All
Yeah.
right. They're saying
Hmm.
that it's very good for your health. So,
Yeah.
like when I hear people be like, okay, no, I'm too old for that, or I know, man, you know,
Mhm.
it's something that you may want to find a partner of, with all of the and then how do you want to find a partner with all these disease and all these stuffs that's going around? We have 2 minutes. So that's why I didn't even want to touch it because
It's
it's
a lot. It's
a
a
lot that
multifaceted.
goes into it. It is a
Hmm.
lot that goes into it. But
Yeah,
since
it
we only have
is.
since we only have the 2 minutes, um,
Because I was watching something where they were saying even with the back pains that you have sometimes, it stems from that. It's like certain hormones inside of your body needs to be released, and when it's not released, that's how you end up getting those back pains and what have you.
so people
So,
need to do more of it. People need to
mhm,
do, and
mhm,
who is
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
And we're not
And then
talking with
too,
toys. We're talking with two persons.
right. Two
Yeah.
persons. And then like you said, we could definitely expound on this a whole lot more. And what I
Yeah.
wanted to say quickly about it was the fact that um both people have to know why they're coming together. And
Yeah.
it is
mhm,
scientific, but it also is used for manifestation. But I,
Yeah.
I,
yeah,
I think both people, the mindset has to be there because
mhm,
like Queen was saying, if men are going into it, for that quickie, and like you said, just to release,
mhm,
it's
yeah,
selfish. The
mhm,
woman is, not getting her needs met.
mhm,
But if both can come together with that same mindset that we're both coming together for this reason, and it's to bring about the good, the healing, and all of that, it turns out a lot better. Both people are satisfied in so many ways.
Yes,
right, right,
I
Well,
agree. And I just want to say, based on what Lady D was saying about the moods and improves the moods, I remember being in high school, and if there's a teacher who looks more upset than usual, the kid, would say, "Oh, she's not getting any. That's why she acting like."
yes.
Good one, Michelle.
And there's a study. There's a real. There's a study that was found that Men who had sex twice a week or more were 50% less likely to die than men who had sex less than once a month. They said
Oh,
sex is important for overall health and well
Mm-hmm.
being. The more people have sex, the healthier they are. It's also great for women. It helps your pelvic floor. So the more
Mhm.
sex you have, the more the health benefits to your vagina increases.
it's
Benefits
true.
includes increasing lubrication, healthier skin, and with improved blood flow. So I mean, like we're gonna touch a lot more because they have over. I found something here with over 18 reasons that it is
Mhm.
important for you to find a loved one whom you can feel comfortable with have getting a partner. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we have to close it out, but
Mhm.
real quick before we close, I just want to say this real quick. Jamaica, PMP. They made themselves look so silly the other day. You all have to educate yourselves. You all really
Yeah,
educate yourselves.
yeah.
Real quick, because we have some Jamaica on the lines here. But you all have to educate yourself. Mark Golden called a boycott. And when he called this boycott, he called a march. And when he called this march, half of you out there don't know what the heck you marching for. And when the reporter asking, why are you out there? Me no know him, me just know say him the good. How do you know him? The person's like, how do you know he ain't good? Oh, because him just no good. What you mean? What do
You
you
roads, what
mean?
happened to the roads? What happened to the water system? What happened to
I
the
mean,
beaches that
you
are taken away from you? What
you have
about, hey, come on.
dunce, dunce, dunce. And I see the JLPs that putting emojis with their hands to their face and like clueless. Come on. What's going on with these party people? They don't know this is what we're talking about in some of our other reasonings where people are are just vote because of party and not because of the topics. They're not voting based off of the topics and what is going on in their country. They're talking about I'm orange, I'm green. And you don't know what you all look like a bunch of fools the other day when these people were asking these questions. You know, but you don't know what you're out there for. They ask you what's the FID. You don't know what it's for. I mean, listen. Okay, we have to go. Loving it to the maximum.
Love
We're
you
gonna,
all.
we're gonna take up these topics next week, Wednesday. Spread the word. Tell a friend and a friend and a family member that we are here. Let's Gripe comes back on June the 18th. So check them out on a Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Be sure to join us for Reasoning Thursdays, each and every Thursdays as you're doing right now, 8 to 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And be sure join us as well for the lady. Join me for the Lady D show this Saturday from 12 to 4 p.m. And be sure to join us for All About Love, Nothing But Love, each and every Sunday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. You don't want to miss any of these programs. Trust and believe. All of these programs, if you miss a little bit, you miss a lot. Just make DA Powerhouse Radio your station. How about that? For the best in music, interviews, information, and just fun each and every week. Right? And log it on to DA Powerhouse Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have the best in music. We have some Don Minot music, some the respect to music, and all these things. The respect to get mad in he black screened us. But anyway, loving it to the back. So I gotta bother them.
Yeah, I see that.
I gotta bother them, respecter. So let's for the
Black
panel,
black
you want to
things
say
out.
River Dolce? The panel want to say River Dolce.
Yeah. It was
Good
a
night,
pleasure
everyone.
every
Thank you so
time.
much for
Good
coming out.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, good night. Good night.
All right. So blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Check you all on
Good
out.
night. Good night.
Saturday for the Lady D show. Loving it to the maximum. Riverdale.
Remember, press that thumb up button. Press that thumb up.
Yeah, like. Press the likes. Like
And subscribe.
Like and share. Like and share.
And subscribe.
subscribe. All right, we're gonna leave out. We're gonna leave
See
out.
you next week. Same time, same
Peace out.
place.
I guess the respect
Thank you, Lady D. Have a good night. Good night, Michelle.
Thank
Good
you.
night,
All
Queen.
right.
Good night.
Let's make it count. Don't produce not your home. Live on feel my respect. Believe you base. Make a real reason. Respond for your brain. Lyrics. Call it general. People number one champions all around there. Wow! I'll keep you rocking and swing. Come and say ah 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 ah. D-A-A-A-A-A-A. Oh! Ra ah 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 ah. D-A-A-A-A-A-A. Can't be such a general. We're a general. We're a general. We're a general.